Kettering. You're listening to Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. Just in case you didn't get enough football on Saturday, we're here to bring you more. It's our Sunday morning tailgate show, presented by Frickers, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Kinner and, well, I'm not saying Kinner and Kev, but it's Kinner and KB live here at Frickers here in Miamisburg. Sunday morning tailgate show right here at Frickers in Miamisburg, as I talked about. Got plenty to get into. Hitting the airwaves a little late today, but KB, what? I guess I'm talking to you. You get your food in your mouth. The headset's officially on. Oh yeah, let me make sure everyone could hear. All right, we good? We're on the same. There we go. We're officially off and rolling. But Justin Kinner, College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byars, live here at Frickers, Miamisburg, Sunday morning tailgate show. We're live here every Sunday morning all the way through Super Bowl Sunday, so keep that in mind. We're also live on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page, live on ESPN Dayton's YouTube channel, and live on ESPN Dayton's Facebook, platform as well. So make sure you take advantage of that and hang out with us here there. Let me make sure that everything's muted. There we go. We're good. Yep. All right. Cool. All right, Keith, we got a lot to get into today. First of all, how was your day yesterday? You celebrated your 60th birthday yesterday.
I did. I'm hearing a reverb. I hear what you said twice. Excuse me, Jada, can I have some Pepsi? Some drink? Okay, I'm back. My birthday was yesterday. I've been pre-birthday celebrating for the last 2 weeks, and yesterday was a very special day. Thank you for being a part of it. You know, I turned a different decade. There's 6 of them now under my belt, and it feels good. It feels good, and so I had a chance to, to celebrate with family and friends, and last night. And the Buckeyes started me off early. I'm glad that game was at noon. That way I can get our Buckeye victory under my belt and enjoy the rest of the day, and don't have to be tensed up on a Saturday. But yet, so 10-14-63, I was brought into this world, and then 10-14-23, the Buckeyes won, and so I've been a Buckeye fan all my life, and it feels good, and I'm good to be here with all the listeners here in the greater Dayton, Miami Valley area. So thanks for all the well wishes for my birthday, and I had a birthday party last night. You attended, and that was my first birthday party. I was 0 for 59 for parties as a kid, as an adult. So I finally got one. So now I'm 1 for 60. So I'm batting about as good as the Atlanta Braves right now. So everything's good.
Braves fan over there. He's a little salty. That's what led to the exit as far as that goes.
Oh, man.
Well, my favorite
Red
part
October in Philadelphia.
Last night, the USC Notre Dame game was on, and Archie Griffin in attendance, and of course, they were all, secretly rooting against USC. They want to keep Archie's two-time Heisman Trophy.
Are you sure they were secretly rooting?
Secretly.
We were like openly.
I guess it was part of one of the speeches. He was not. He was rooting. It was painful rooting for Notre Dame, but they said they had to keep Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams did not look good. USC, 3
interceptions in the first half. Ooh. The reason why we're talking about, Archie Griffin was there last night. He is the first and only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. So that in itself is special, and we want to keep it that way. Not that we're hating on Caleb Williams. We want him to have a tremendous career and even a good year, at USC this year. Just not a great year, not a Heisman year.
Yeah.
Because we want Archie to only be the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner.
Let's talk about the Buckeyes. Ohio State take care of business against Purdue. Look, Purdue, obviously not an opponent that you get all jacked up for, but we've seen weird things happen, especially when the Buckeyes play at West Lafayette. And they came away 41-7, the victors yesterday. But we all know, I talked to Paul Keels earlier in the week. One of the things he brought up was the fact that every coach throughout the history of the Buckeye program, except for Paul Brown, has lost a game at Purdue. Ryan Day hasn't been around, as long as some of the other coaches, but he had a chance to lose yesterday, and by golly, he didn't, and that's all that matters. And Ohio State remains unbeaten. But overall, Keith, I know you were out golfing most of the day. You were pretty busy, but I think that's the most.
I had a game on
the back nine. That's the most consistent that I think the offense had looked from beginning of the game to the end. Obviously, there's still some penalties, and they turned the ball over a few times. But as far as Kyle McCord and the pass game goes, I thought that was balanced by the run game. I think that's the most consistent and impressive offensive performance. They've put up more points in previous weeks, of course, but I thought that was the best that the offense had looked, and you could at least see strides of improvement, which is something you want to see, especially at this time of year.
Oh, no question. I mean, even the opening series, we were throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison. I'm like, oh, he is here. You know, you got a big joker. Use it, play it. You know, he's the best wide receiver in college football. Why act like, you know, we're hiding? Highlight him. You know, embrace him. Throw him the football, especially with Emeka and Booker being out yesterday. You know, I don't care who we play. First series, second series, third series of the game, that ball should be going to Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, if you got the best player, you know, in the best wide receiver in the country, you use him. You know, you look at not Notre Dame, Alabama a few years ago when they had Devontae Smith. He won the last wide receiver to win the Heisman Trophy. That year, he averaged 9 catches a game and 163 yards. You know, that is intentional about getting him started. And that was on a team that had Jalen Waddle on it, so they had a plethora of wide receivers.
Options,
they had options.
They had the options.
Just like we have options at Ohio State. We had Emeka Booker, Marvin Harrison, you know, little young fella, Carnell Taylor is coming on, Julian Fleming, Brandon Ennis. You know, we can just go on and on naming wide receivers that are, you know, going to be playmakers or potential playmakers in there. Just use them. And then again, yesterday we showed how deep our running back room was. Yeah. You know, it's the best running back room in the country. We were down to what running back yesterday? 4th, 5th.
I mean, there's supposed to be a red shirt running back in Hayden. They didn't want to use him, but
they still burn it. You know,
you get 4 games.
But I hate when college football do not give us injury reports. I was with dinner at Trevion Henderson last Friday night game, you know, for the Maryland game. I had no idea he wasn't playing the next day. You know, didn't even think to me asking me.
He thought you were friends. He didn't tell you.
Yeah, he didn't tell me.
He didn't tell you.
And then this week, no Trevion Henderson, no Mayan Williams. And we don't know that until game time. And what the injuries is, it's still a mystery. We still don't even know what that is. Unless we see it, I don't know. But our running back room, you know, stepped up. You know, Dallin Hayden, you know, stepped up really big. You know, Swiss Army knife. And Xavier Johnson, team captain, you know, he came and got some carries. And who knew the Chip Trainum started was going to be in, you know, concussion protocol. You know, hopefully whatever it happened, because I'm saying whatever, they never really tell us. We had to all speculate. You know, but one thing about the running back room is that those guys truly like one another. You know, there's no jealousy. You know, everybody wants to be the man, but they all cheer for one another. So when they're not getting carries, they're cheering for the guy who is. And that's a, you know, testament to the running back coach and to Ryan Day and, you know, to the sport of football. That's something that's the number one lesson I learned at Ohio State, is that football is the greatest team sport. You know, no one can have individual success without the help of your person to the left and the right of you, in front of you and behind you. You know, that's why when we win, you know, whether that person scored a touchdown, it's a team victory. And I've always been a proponent of, you know, of team sports and what it's about, even though we signal out, you know, the quarterback and the coach and stuff, but it's a total team effort. And that's what Ohio State more often than not has exemplified.
College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byars, Justin Kinner, live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. It's the Sunday Morning Tailgate Show right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Ohio State coming away victorious yesterday, 41-7 over Purdue. Talking about Dallin Hayden, of course, the big debate about whether or not, you know, they want to redshirt him. I don't know your thoughts on this. Look, redshirting made a lot of sense years and years ago in the old model, but now with the transfer portal and NIL and players, it's so easy to pluck players now. I'm just not a fan of that. If Dallin Hayden has the talent to play him. I think it'd be silly to risk, you know, after that performance yesterday, you know, if you risk him getting upset and saying, well, forget this, I want to go somewhere where I can play right away. But what are your thoughts on that? Obviously, every situation's different, but I'm not a fan of the red shirt approach anymore, especially in today's college football.
That's a big question.
And every situation's different.
Right.
And obviously there's a ton of depth here.
Notre Dame plays 4 or 5 running backs.
Yep.
Because they don't want to go in the transfer portal. Instead of just stepping up and, you know, what happened to you're not starting. This is the guy. And accepting
still
it. Wait
accepting
your turn.
Your role, and
You know, Dallin Hayden, I am confident he can go to 95% of the schools in the country and start. So but it's something at Ohio State that makes him, like what I just said, a part of the team. It's easy to go into the transfer portal and say, yeah, it's me. And sometimes you have to be selfish. I'm not, knocking the transfer portal by no means. But I think this is the best place for him. And if he was to leave, and, that's still a new conversation to talk about, in college. No, we're talking about pros. But, I think this is the best place for him.
And to be fair with that, if Trevion Henderson's healthy and Mayan Williams is, healthy and they're both playing, your running back 1, running back 2, you don't even need to look at Dallin Hayden. And we're not having this conversation, but this is an example of when we say it's the deepest running back room in the NFL, it's the deepest running back room in college football.
Yes.
Obviously, there's other schools that have just as talented running backs as Ohio State, but the depth as far as how far down
Michigan
on the depth chart.
Yeah. They had 2 running backs, that they liked, and they short. The quorum goes down, and then they're playing, Ohio State, and then
who's the other back? Who's the other back? Shaw, Donovan Edwards.
Edwards. Was in there. Well, we had our backup running back in, and we had number 2. They were crying about that. I'm like, Donovan Edwards pretty darn good. So you don't have your number 1 guy. You're down to your number 2. But Ohio State whined. We were down our 4th and 5th guy playing Georgia. In the national semifinal. We didn't complain about that. We had no Trevion, mine a little bit. The list goes on and on. Of guys that we were down and were playing, but that goes back to the team.
Yep.
It's about the team effort, and that just a part of it. And you just don't complain. And if you transfer, I get it. But why are you transferring? You chose this school for a reason. And if it's not what you thought, then okay, go. But sometimes guys just transfer for the sake of transferring. And, at some point you got to look in the mirror and say, is it you? Is it me? When we lost Jamison Williams, to Alabama, people were like, yeah, he was getting down the road at Ohio State. And Jamison Williams was starting at Ohio State. And if it wasn't for Kobe, we would have saw a whole lot more of Jamison Williams. We only played 6 games, that year.
Yep.
And this is before NIL, but I think he got his pre-NIL from Alabama. Yeah, that's right. I said it, Alabama. yeah, that's how he got down there. Because he was, he was still happy at Ohio State. But some of those factors are, in play in today's game. Here we are in 2023. I was listening to the radio on the way here. They're talking about USC and Lincoln Riley. He needs to not only recruit better defensive players, but
recruit defensive players
off other rosters. So, yeah, that's what USC needs to do because their defense is not very good.
No, not. Look, last night, and we'll talk about the USC game coming up here in just a moment. But no, nonetheless, we get to the NFL coming up here in a moment too, with just a shortened show today. We got to get the Browns back in action coming off the bye week, but feels like with all the drama going on with the Browns that they haven't been off at all. It just seems like status quo, but they got their hands full with the 49ers coming up. They do not have Deshaun Watson. They're without Nick Chubb, obviously, for the rest of the season. So we'll get to that around the corner. The Cincinnati Bengals fans.
Is that a trap game?
That ain't a trap game.
For San Francisco.
It depends who they have next week. It just depends who the Niners. I don't even know who the Niners have next week, but nonetheless, but it's one of those situations where they have their hands full. The Bengals fans believe their team's back. They beat a bad team in the Cardinals, and all of a sudden they're back. But the one thing, I'm sorry, we got more Bengals fans. We got a Bengals fan right there. We do, right? We got a lot of Browns fans though. That's the Browns fan.
Say it with your chest.
By the way. Yeah. So we get here, Keith. There's a bunch of Bengals fans out here. They're heading down to Paul Brown right now. Or no, I'm sorry, Paycor. They're heading down to Paycor right now.
Just do like Bingo Stadium.
As soon as Steve walked out, they said, "You got some crap on your shirt." And I'm like, "Oh no, here we go." I was like, "Please, just don't do it." He behaved himself. He's grown up. He's behaving himself. But, all right, we'll step away for a few moments. College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byars with you here. Justin Kinner, 1410 ESPN Radio, live at Frickers here in Miamisburg like we are every Sunday morning all the way through Super Bowl Sunday. Ron Howard, he messages into the show, Keith. He says, how bad are the Browns going to get rolled? Double digits, he says.
Oh, my.
Ron would rather if Ron had the choice between the Browns never winning a game for the rest of their existence or his team winning a Super Bowl, I think it would be the Browns never winning a game the rest of their existence. That's how much Ron hates my team. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, it's that. Tampon Ron.
Tampon Ron.
Trey Green says, he said, Trey Green is a Michigan fan, Keith, along with Shaw. And Trey says, you do not have the best running back room in the country.
Oh, come on. Shaw, you agree or disagree? He agrees. Michigan's running back room is better than Ohio State's. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay.
You're not starting your 60s out very kindly, I see.
No, I'm trying to think. We got Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum. Okay.
What? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's look at this.
That later. Benjamin Hall had 9 carries yesterday. Okay, we'll talk about it another time.
We'll talk about it on this. I might even get the mic out. We'll let Shaw defend his team over there. But it's going to be nice watching someone else eviscerate Shaw here today because it's tiring for me to do it Monday through Friday. So, Kinner and Keith Byars will be back.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
We love saying it because it's true. Chevrolet of Troy has you covered for all of your auto service needs. We have the most up-to-date and state-of-the-art dealership with experienced service department that's second to none. In fact, we're the only dealership in Miami County with an on-site body shop. Our experienced professionals diagnose your vehicle quickly to get you back on the road. For a limited time, get an oil change for as low as $29.95. Chevrolet of Troy, 1375 South Market Street, and online at ChevroletofTroy.com.
Have you heard about the Montgomery County Clerk of Courts Help Center? We provide legal information, programs, and resources that may be available to you. The Help Center cannot provide legal advice, but we can provide information on a variety of topics, including expungements, protection orders, identity theft, and more. We are out in the community several days a week, and we've recently partnered with the Dayton Metro Library's many locations. Visit courthouse2u.com to learn more. Brought to you by Montgomery County Clerk of Courts, Mike Foley.
Hey, Cordell Transportation is now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers, excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply right now, online at CordellTransportation.com. Do it right now. Driven to succeed.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this. QC Kinetics can change your life. You can live again without that chronic joint pain and without drugs or surgery. Hi, it's Keith Byars. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine. They take your body's own concentrated healing properties and put them right into your joint to restore and to repair that damaged tissue that's causing all that horrible pain. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Finally, a real alternative to the old ways of dealing with pain. And unlike surgery, there's no downtime with QC treatments. If you have constant pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, you need to call and get a free consultation from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics today. Imagine this fall, moving around pain-free, doing the things you love again, walking, hiking, playing with the grandkids. Call QC Kinetics and see how the latest advances in precision regenerative medicine can attack your pain and bring you lasting relief. Now is the best time to get started. 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325.
Sweet! The Flower Man here for Sweetest Day, Saturday, October 21st, and the deals are sweet too. A dozen roses only $12.99. Mixed bouquets, arrangements, and flowers from all over the world. Thank you, Flower Man, and thank you to all of you sweet customers. Go to flowermanflowers.com. That's flowermanflowers.com.
Don't put it off any longer. You know it's time. Time for a bathroom upgrade by Bath Creations. Bath Creations is a leader in bathroom renovations, providing the very best value in bath and shower remodeling, and proudly made in the USA. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful modern bathroom that's safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save $500 off your purchase right now. Visit Poe Avenue in Dayton or online at mybathcreations.com. And upgrade today.
Polking Bowling Centers are your connection for family fun or a great night out with friends. Looking for the best venue for your upcoming event or party? Check out our VIP suite at Polking Lane South. It's a unique state-of-the-art VIP private 8-lane luxury suite. It's not too late to book your holiday party. Call today and let the good times roll. Let us host your holiday event at any of our centers. Polking Lanes in Dayton on Wilmington Avenue. Polking Woodman Lanes in Kettering on Woodman Drive. Or Polking Lane South in Centerville on Kingsridge Drive.
Did you know your tires have an expiration date? Regardless of treadwear, at Carroll Works, we inspect your tires for signs of age that can lead to failure. Do you know when your tires were born? Contact us at Carroll Works Tire or visit us online today. Did you know the amount of tread on your tires is directly correlated to how long it takes for your vehicle to stop, especially in adverse weather conditions like rain and snow? Make sure your tires aren't making you accident prone. Contact us at Carroll Works Tire.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
All right, and we are back. Justin Kinner, College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byars. We are live here at Frickers here in Miamisburg. It's our Sunday morning tailgate show. Of course, recapping all things college football Saturday, getting you set for today's onslaught of NFL games, of course. And we're also live on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page and our ESPN Dayton YouTube channel as well. So make sure you go and check that out. So Michigan fans saying the Buckeyes do not have the number one running back room, Keith.
I didn't say that. Michigan fans said.
I know. That's why I said
Michigan fans said that. So, microphone. Does he have a mic?
He has a microphone. He can come defend himself.
You want to come defend yourself?
Yeah.
So
you were talking about the depth that Ohio State has.
Ohio State has the best
at
running back room in the country.
Yep.
You know, and they've had the best running back room for the last year and this year. Ohio State's had the best running back room. And, you know, my argument is, and then I'll let Shaw speak on it, is that we played in the national semifinal.
I'll borrow your charger real quick.
Certainly.
Okay.
With down to our fifth running back. The starter was Travion Henderson. He got hurt. Mike Williams was hurt. Evan Pryor was hurt last year in training camp. We moved a linebacker and moved him to running back, and Trip Channing. And then we had a freshman running back by the name of Dalen Hayden. And then we played a 22 season. And next to the last game of the season, that fifth string running back had to save the season for us against Maryland. We played Michigan the following week with a linebacker / running back. He started against Michigan. Trip Channing did. Then we go into the national semifinal game against Georgia with Trip Channing and Dalen Hayden. And a little bit of Mike Williams, he was hurt. Now you turn the page to the 2023 season. You know, everybody's back. I was surprised that I thought somebody else, Mike Williams, would be leaving, but he came back. And now here we are in 23. We started with Travion Henderson, Mike Williams. Trip Channing is starting to get a whole lot. He's kind of like the hybrid, can play anything. So that's three guys right there. Dalen Hayden is number 4. Evan Pryor is down. He's number 5, and he's futures bright for him. So we have played this year 5 running backs, and 4 of those 5 have gotten significant snaps through halfway point of the season, 6 games of the season. That's why, I say unequivocally, we started yesterday's game with our 3rd string running back in Trip Channing, and then he got hurt in the first half, and then we turned to a freshman running back. Well, he's a sophomore now, who's a 2nd-year guy who's only had 0 quality carries this season, and I think maybe 5 snaps, all season long.
So
with that, I turn my microphone off.
So Trey Green, who started all this, said Donovan Edwards ran all over you guys with a broken hand. Run all over us with a broken foot, then I'll be impressed.
Thank
Who cares? I mean,
you got 2 hands.
And then he said 2023, you guys still, you guys are struggling to run the ball. That's where your lack of comprehension of football comes into play. It's the offensive line that has led to some of those running issues. But it's okay. It's okay. But,
we're talking about
come on, Sean. What you got? Bring it. What you got? What you got? Let me make sure. Hopefully his mic works. Oh, no.
Nope, your mic is off.
Try it again.
So we're talking about a running back room.
There we go.
That you can't find a star in.
What star are you talking about?
Who? What
are you talking about? 5 stars? Like rankings,
we're talking about
true stars.
We can talk about how you guys keep playing all these running backs, but not one of them is the guy. So does that make it a deep room because you play 3, 4, 5 different guys? Are you getting production out of those 3, 4, 5 guys that would say that you are a running team? I would say no. Because after every single game, all I hear is Buckeye Nation saying our running game has to improve, our running game has to improve, our running game has to improve. So when that's all I'm hearing from Bucknuts Radio and 97.
We don't say Bucknuts Radio on this station. Bucknuts doesn't exist.
Okay, so other publications in the state of Ohio and other radio stations in the state of Ohio and all the fans throughout this state, how can you say that's a deep room?
What a lovely state it is.
How can you say that's a deep room when everybody says that I talk to, yeah, our running game is horrible. So if it comes down to a running game, Michigan's going to take the advantage in that. So
I
I'm
just
not
told you
understanding.
The offensive line. That's what
we have the better offensive line. We have.
We're talking about the running back room.
But we're talking about. I am talking about the running back room. It's all the same.
Up the offensive line.
But what's the running backs done?
Bring it the punter while you're at
Okay,
it.
No. What's the running backs done? Like, you guys keep trying to change the subject. What have the running backs done? You've played 3 or 4 guys, but what have they done? And again,
it's my turn for a second.
You spoke for the first 15.
Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
That would be disrespectful.
All right, it's my show. Get your own show. You can speak.
Fact.
That's why I hang up on him all the damn time.
Fact.
How dare you talk for the first 15 minutes on your show?
The nerve of you.
I'm just saying.
Okay, no. Let me give you a counter argument. But the difference between the running back room and a great offensive line. You remember John Elway played for the Denver Broncos. They had a runner when he finally won the Super Bowl. The running back was Terrell Davis. And he was like, Terrell Davis, that's all John Elway needed was a running game. So Terrell Davis, they win the Super Bowl. Terrell Davis gets hurt. And then they bring in another running back in, but what's his name? Orlando Gary. Man, how good was Terrell? This guy comes in here running for 1,000. Then he gets hurt. They go to the third guy, and he runs for a whole ton of yards. And then they finally realized that Denver Bronco offensive line is pretty darn good. So it's more the line than the player. So here, then you fast forward that argument to today. We're not. It's not like our offensive line is opening up holes and our running backs just can't get to them and they just missing them, running each other. Then you're like, man, the hole is wide open. They're blocking. Can we get some running backs that can run the ball and hit the hole? That's not the argument. Our running backs, if you open up the holes, they will run. I mean, and they will do it. If our running backs were at Michigan and run the same play that Blake Corum run, they would have the same success, if not more, but at least the same success that Blake Corum was running. You bring Blake Corum down here and put him at running back in those first 4 or 5 games of the season against Ohio State. What is he doing? Same thing. He got to make our running backs making great moves just to get to the line of scrimmage because of the mental breakdowns we've had up front. Has nothing to do with their individual talent. So when I'm evaluating both running back rooms, that's what I'm evaluating off of it. I didn't say you mentioned stars. I said depth. We have the deepest and the best running back room in the country. Just like if I said that running back room, would you agree we had the best wide receiver room in the country?
No.
Who has the best wide receiver room?
Washington.
Huskies?
The Huskies. The team that just beat Oregon yesterday. Best wide receiver room in the country. Ohio State has the best wide receiver in the country. Best room in the country? No.
Oh, my gosh.
No. There's going to be.
I didn't see nobody out there better than Mecca Ibuka.
Mecca Ibuka didn't play yesterday.
No. I'm talking about for Washington.
I know. But
they have no receiver on their roster better than him.
Miles Jackson?
He's not better than Mecca Ibuka. He's not better than him.
Okay.
I mean, and there's not a huge difference between the Mecca Ibuka and Marvin Harrison Jr. We just throw the ball. He makes more spectacular catches.
I would disagree with that.
Okay. I said it's not a huge difference. I said there is a difference, but not as big as gap as people would think.
Ibuka is going to be a 2 or a 3 in the NFL. Marvin Harrison's is the number 1 wide receiver on in an NFL team.
That's a good projection. But I didn't see nobody at Washington. I could say, "Ooh, I wish." I mean, I'm greedy. I want all the talent, but Mecca Ibuka is better than all their wide receivers. And they don't have bad receivers at all. And I need to see more of them. But that was the most extensive I've seen them was yesterday.
So
and
you're
I don't
saying
see a wide receiver on their team better than Mecca Ibuka.
So you're saying their passing game is all Michael Penix?
No. It's both. It's two-way street. But
there's a lot of good quarterbacks in college football, though, that
but Michael
have good
Penix
passing games without having a talented super talented
It's a two-way street. Sometimes it's Michael Penix, sometimes it's a wide receiver. Sometimes it's Marvin Harrison, sometimes it's C.J. Stroud that made some of those catches. And Mecca, Jackson Smith and Jigba that Rose Boy had, that wasn't all Jackson. That was some Jackson, some C.J. Stroud.
But why are we saying Ohio State's room is that much better than Washington's when
we didn't say it was that much better? We said it was the best wide receiving room in college football.
But you're
No,
That's
you're
my
doing that
point.
thing again. You're doing that thing
No,
again.
that's my point.
If
That's
you
my
finish
point.
second in a 100-yard dash in the Olympics, doesn't mean you're slow. You just got second.
Agreed.
Yeah,
but,
that don't mean you're bad. You're in an
like,
Olympic final and you finish second. You get silver. That don't mean you're slow. You're freaking fast. You're just not as fast as the gold guy who won gold. That's all.
So through the first 6 weeks of this season, was the passing game struggling or not?
Which Ohio State?
Yes,
it's
Ohio
still
State.
struggling.
But
they don't. You're talking about the throwing game, not the catching game. We're talking about catching. I mean, Marvin Harrison against Rutgers should have had 200 yards in receiving if he had to slow down and wait on the ball.
The argument isn't Marvin Harrison.
No.
We
but
know
you're talking
Marvin
about
Harrison
passing
is
game,
number
and
one.
Passing game is two people, the thrower and the catcher.
I'm talking about the entire
blocker.
room, not just Marvin Harrison.
But what you're arguing now is you're talking about the quarterback plays leading to the not the. I mean, look, you have C.J. Stroud with this receiving room. We're talking about this is the best receiving room in football. You're using the quarterback struggles to diminish the wide receiving room. When everyone coming into the season knew Ohio State had the top wide receiving room.
What I'm saying is what you guys are trying to say is Washington's passing game is all Michael Penix.
No, I never want to say that.
Then how is Ohio State's passing wide receiver room better than Washington's?
Are we talking passing attack or wide receiver room?
We're talking about wide receiver room.
It's
the same thing. No, you guys are moving the goalpost. I'm not moving nothing. You guys keep trying to sit there and say that the quarterback is the reason, is not the reason, or it is the reason.
There we go. That's all I needed.
It's the reason. You guys are trying to say the quarterback is or it isn't. But what has Ohio State's wide receiver room outside of Marvin Harrison done to say that they are the best wide receiver
Just so
room,
I know we're on the same
other than
page.
Washington?
So when you say what have they done, what is Washington's done? So I know we're talking on the same level here. What is Washington's done so that I know what you're counting as done so that we can counter
wider? Okay, I know you're not that. I'm not a complete stat guy either, but you look at the other wide receivers in Washington's room, they have more catches, more yards, more first downs, more touchdowns than the rest of the Ohio State's room.
Better quarterback, better passing attack because of the better quarterback.
You're feeding my point. You're feeding my point.
If you put Kyle McCord on Washington, their receivers are not as explosive statistically.
That still feeds my point.
No, it doesn't, because it doesn't make Ohio State's wide receivers less talented because their stats aren't as padded because they don't have as talented of a quarterback. We saw last year with C.J. Stroud this receiver room explode if they've taken a step back because of lack of the dominant quarterback.
I wouldn't say they've taken a step back. I would say that the passing game's taken a step back. That doesn't make the wide receiver room has taken a step back. That's my point.
So they're still the best receiving quarter in college football. There we go. That's all I need. That's what I needed to hear right there. So we are saying the same thing.
Yeah, okay. Let's go pros for a second. You got Pat Mahomes. Does he have the best wide receivers in the NFL? Is he the best quarterback in the NFL? Yes, but he's elevating those receivers that he does have. I mean, look at the opening loss against Detroit. He was putting the ball right on to Kadarius Toney's hand. He couldn't catch it. So his stats weren't that great because he had guys that can bring it home. It would clearly see he has a receiver problem in Kansas City. But they had the best quarterback. So we're saying we have the best wide receiver room in the country. We still have the best quarterback. And then last year when we had arguably, it depends on the best quarterback in the country, our wide receiver room complimented him. So it was both. It was yin and yang. I mean, some would argue we had the best quarterback in the country. Others would not. I mean, Caleb Williams won the Heisman Trophy. Bryce Young was there, as well as CJ. That's why I say arguably. To me, he was the best quarterback in the country, even though he didn't win the trophy. Our wide receiver room was the best in the country, and we didn't even have our number one receiver last year, Jackson Smith-Njigba. We did that without him. That showed the depth of our receiver room last year. You know?
Why?
We got
because
3
of
minutes.
stars?
We got 3 minutes.
Why? Because of the stars on their ranking?
Production. Jackson Smith-Njigba, you saw him what he did in 21.
But their wide receiver room wasn't the best in the country, and by stats.
Oh my gosh, they had Chris Olave, Garrett
Yes,
Wilson.
you're talking about names. You're talking about
about
names.
production.
No, we are
okay. We're talking about. So give me Michigan against Ohio State.
This isn't Michigan, Ohio State.
No. I'm asking that. Michigan's running back room, Ohio State running back room. Just those narrow the scope. Which room is better?
I will take Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards
Two guys.
over any running back you guys throw out there.
So your argument, 2 is better than 1. So 2 of those guys can take on 4 of ours.
I will take Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum over any running back you guys are throwing out there this year.
Okay.
That's fine. We got passing attack. We got the best receiving room in college football. So
with no quarterback, apparently.
What about
like, see, you guys are wanting me to get to the point where I don't give Ohio State credit this year. You're trying really hard to get me there.
How will we sleep at that?
Right now,
Penn State or Michigan's?
Probably Penn State's.
Okay. Just curious.
But who's got the better offensive line out of all 3 of them?
No, we're talking about running back room.
No,
we're not talking about O-line.
We don't want to talk.
They're talking O-line now?
We don't want to talk.
We're talking O-line now.
We don't want to talk.
I'm going to get an edge to Michigan.
Okay. At least we agree on something.
Yeah, their offensive line. Yeah, we drafted.
Who's got the better defensive line?
We lost 3 linemen in the draft last year.
So did we.
A number 4, and a number 6. What did y'all lose?
We lost a first rounder, a third rounder, and a fourth rounder.
Okay.
Yeah, but our coach didn't give away cheeseburgers to get talented players over
Fact.
here. So,
Fact. And he also doesn't have a contract yet either.
We do it the
way. But what we are is back-to-back Big Ten champions. That's what we are.
Got beat by TCU.
Just 2. How many did we win in a row before we finally gave it?
Probably 15. But we're not talking about that.
Yeah,
remember?
exactly. Let's talk about right now. Okay, we got 2.
All right, Kinner and Keith Byars live here at Frickers in Miamisburg. It's a Sunday morning tailgate show. Yeah, Shaw, your mic is officially off. There we go. It's off, right? Or did
yeah.
Okay.
You took 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Your own show. How dare you?
All right. Justin Kinner, Keith Byars on the Shaw Show here.
Give me some, Shaw. Give me a pound, Shaw.
Yeah. Hey,
Shaw, you gonna leave me hanging, man?
You gonna disrespect him with the mic. You don't disrespect him by not, giving him a fist
pound.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right, we'll be right back. We can talk a little NFL, literally a little NFL as we wrap up the show. Browns, will they get blown out by the 49ers? They're without Deshaun Watson. They got P.J. Walker. Will they have him pass this week? We'll talk about that and what that can mean for the AFC North. Plus, the Cincinnati Bengals, are they back? They got a big win over the Cardinals last week to potentially save their season, at least according to their quarterback, Joe Burrow. Can they keep it rolling? They got a good Seahawks team. That kicks off at 1 o'clock here in 15 minutes as well. Fantasy football, just a reminder, get your lineup set. I got to go, and check that. By the way, Trey Green, a Michigan fan, he goes, we want cheeseburgers, Kinner. We want cheeseburgers. They got great cheeseburgers here at Frickers. I know when we come out here, everyone wants to talk about the wings. They do have very good burgers out here, by the way. Very impressed by the burgers. Let's see what Trey said. We want angry, Kinner. I ain't angry. I'm in a good mood. Anyways, we'll be right back. More of the Sunday Morning Tailgate Show live here from Frickers in Miamisburg.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. From fighting wildfires with air support, helping civilians in flooded neighborhoods, to delivering food and supplies to those who have lost everything, the Army National Guard always responds when disaster strikes. The Army National Guard also trains to be ever vigilant against threats, foreign and domestic. They protect our skies with missile defense weaponry. They secure our information, communications, and infrastructure with cybersecurity. And they protect us against chemical, biological, and radiological hazards with the civilian support team. The Army National Guard also stands ready to deploy and provide support for conflicts or humanitarian missions abroad. Join the Army National Guard and be there to respond, protect, and support your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard. Aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Did you know that if your tires are under or overinflated, your gas mileage and tire life can be grossly affected? That can cost you money. Don't waste your money. Make sure your air pressure is correct. Contact us at Carroll Works Tire or visit us online today. Did you know that Carroll Works services fleet vehicles? We specialize in mixed fleets. If you have a fleet of vehicles or equipment, we tailor service programs to meet your specific needs and keep your business moving. Give us a call or visit us online today.
Exergen thermometers are the smart choice when selecting a thermometer. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Got a fever? Stay home. To detect fever accurately at home, you need a clinically accurate, fast, and non-invasive thermometer. The Exergen thermometer is backed by over 100 clinical studies. Accuracy matters. Be smart and safe. Measure accurately with Exergen thermometers available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Dayton area attorneys. 2689 Commons Boulevard, Suite 100, Beaver Creek, Ohio, 45431.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
We love saying it because it's true. Chevrolet of Troy has the absolute lowest prices. Get the deepest discounts with up to $10,000 off MSRP. Plus no payments until New Year's. And sign and drive with 0 cash down. The best selection in the region with over 100 brand new Chevrolets. Remember, customer service is our top priority. We make financing a breeze. A full service, state-of-the-art dealership makes Chevrolet of Troy your best choice. Save, save, save at 1375 South Market Street and online at ChevroletofTroy.com.
When looking for the highest standard of HVAC service and care, turn to William Brockman & Sons Heating and Air Conditioning, your local Lennox Premier dealer. Right now, get up to $1,500 in rebates, or qualified buyers make no payments, incur no interest for 6 months when financing a new Lennox system. Plus, receive up to $3,200 in federal tax credits. Call us today at 937-222-8638 or visit us online at DaytonHeatingandCooling.com to learn more. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Dealer license number Ohio, license number 14911.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Did you know Carroll Works Tire isn't just for tires? We're also one of the leading service centers in the area. Our knowledgeable staff focuses on honesty, allowing you to make informed decisions. If you need routine maintenance or necessary repairs, contact us at Carroll Works Tire. Pothole season is here. Sometimes they are unavoidable, like the big hit on the last play. Yearly alignment checks will identify worn or loose steering and suspension components that may be robbing you of tire life and fuel economy. Contact us at Carroll Works Tire.
Hey, Cordell Transportation is now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers, excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply right now online at CordellTransportation.com. Do it right now. Driven to succeed.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is Keith Byars for Superbook Sports. You spend valuable time thinking about which bets to place each week. So why wouldn't you want the best company in the business to be the one who handles those bets? Superbook Sports is the most trusted name in Las Vegas, and it's now live right here in Ohio for all your sports wagering needs. Superbook has a team of dedicated odds makers behind the counter in Las Vegas setting all the prices. We're talking about guys with decades of experience showing you why Superbook has the best odds around. And right now, you can look ahead to hockey and hoops postseason and place a bet on who you think will take home the title. So download the Superbook Sports app or visit superbook.com to wager and win today. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-589-9966. Call 1-800-589-9966. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-589-9966. Call 1-800-589-9966.
Justin Kinner and Keith Byars live here at Frickers here in Miamisburg. It's the Sunday Morning Tailgate Show right here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. We only have about 10 minutes of the show remaining. We appreciate everyone who came out today. Keith, the one thing, since we moved the show outside, I don't know if it has something to do with that being outside or what, but, we've had
I was just
full
about to say,
patio.
we have our first fall Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the calendar says otherwise, but this is the first Sunday it feels like fall. Well, maybe the second day of fall that it really feels like a fall day, and I love it. I'm not mad.
No.
We're outside on the patio.
I don't know how many more days we're going to be set up out here, but we're going to milk it as long as we can.
Yes, we'll try to
because
tough it out.
I love this patio here at Frickers, and why we've done the show here for almost going on, whether back when it was Bucknuts, when Mark Neal was here.
And I'm smoking my birthday cigar.
Yeah,
that you gave me. Thank you for my birthday present.
Oh,
see it go up in smokes.
I brought him last night, and I'm like, I saw the table where all the gifts were. And I saw the car that you had. Let's see, the pony. I mean, you got some good stuff. I didn't know what to do, but I'm not a card guy. I didn't get a card. Everyone, my wife was on me. You didn't get him a card. I'm like, if you got,
I'm okay.
You're smoking the cigar. Would a card have made the cigar better? I'm just
no, it would not.
I'm appreciative. All right, so Bengals last week get the big win over the Cardinals. Keeps their season alive. It sounds dramatic, but the thing is when you start the season 1-4,
well, it gets their back off the wall.
Yeah, it gives them a little breathing room. You just keep pushing it back. If they would have won last week the way they won against the Rams about a month ago, or less than a month ago, actually, but I would have said, okay, I'm not that impressed. It is what it is. Like your season is based on not you winning right now. It's whether Joe Burrow's leg is working correctly, right? And so they got their cake and they ate it too last week, right? So they got the win over the Cardinals. It keeps the season alive, but he looked good. The pass attack, I mean, that's the identity of who the Bengals are. Complementary defense along with that high attack passing offense, all that fun stuff. That they were back last week. Now that's against one of the worst defenses and teams in the league. I'm not going to do that to the NFL. Even the worst teams can still beat the best teams on any given week. I'm hoping that's the case for the Browns and Niners here coming up in a little bit. But you have to feel good as Bengals fans because the biggest takeaway last week was, yes, you got the win, but the bigger takeaway to me is Joe Burrow looked healthy, and really that's the only thing that matters if you're a Bengals fan right now.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Joe, wow, he's been injured since late July.
Yeah.
Late July. And now
I was
we're
golfing
mid-October.
Scarlet and Gray course over in Columbus.
You played
on
Scarlet?
Scarlet.
Okay.
And I remember when that news came down. It was
That's right. That was the summer.
It was with Skip Mossick and then from the Ohio State radio crew. And all of a sudden I hear someone yell the F word real loud. Look around as a Bengals fan. And I checked my phone, and sure enough, it was that Joe Burrow went down. They thought it was the ACL at first because the way he went down, with that calf or whatever. But yeah, since late July, I remember where I was when it came out.
It takes a while to get healthy. We'll see how healthy he is today. Now that he looked very good last week. Had a full week of rehab, treatment, and really getting to practice more with his wide receivers. So that should carry over today. Carry over doesn't necessarily mean you have to win the game, but it really does mean you have to win the game. But he has to play well. Joe Burrow has to play well, get his mobility back. We saw it last week, and that's the key, for him to be that person. And the reason why there's such a sense of urgency, the difference between college and professional. In college football, it's a sprint to the finish because you're only going to get 12 games. Ohio State just played their 6th game yesterday. Michigan just played their 7th yesterday. So now by the time we get to Halloween and going into November, college football season be winding down. Where the NFL, we're not even at the midpoint. So NFL is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And when you get off to a slow start like the Bengals did, then you're like, okay, can we get to the 8th game of the season at least 4-4 so that we can have a reset for the second half of the season? So with that win last week, helped boost that argument so that now their backs are off the wall. They're still somewhat against it, but they're a little off it. Now they got a little breathing room. Go win this game and try to get to 4-4, 5-3, at the midway point of the season. So then you can you can stockpile those victories in November, and then you start talking about playoff positioning. We got a chance for, first round bye and all that stuff. But that doesn't matter if you don't take care of September and October football. And the Bengals, they just basically took September off. And now here we are in October, and it's their 3rd game in October right now. It would really help for them to go, have a winning record in the month of October. Now they won't be undefeated, but at least have a winning. They got 5 games this month or 4. I don't have the schedule.
They have a bye week coming up here in a few weeks. I know they have.
But they need
Niners
to be
too.
3-1 at least. Here in the month of October, so that they would have something to talk about by Thanksgiving. Otherwise, we can be talking about draft positioning. You don't want to be in that. The Browns have been in that predicament many years. They don't want to be on it. They got San Francisco. That's a trap game for San Francisco. They had that high win against your team. Well, one of your teams, the Cowboys, last week. It made me
side
happy.
piece team is what
yes, the side piece team.
Can I say that? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I just did.
Hey,
you said it too.
I said it to both of them. That was a big win for San Francisco. They emotionally drained. It was at home. They whooped up on the Cowboys. Are they going to come out flat today in Cleveland? We'll see. But you shouldn't because you're a professional. You have got to.
Thanks
a lot. I know what it said. The Browns are a 10-point dog.
It's 9. It's 9. Relax. Give us some credit.
Hey, it's NFL. 7 points.
Check for me. Is it 10? It was 9 this way. I checked just to be sure. It's Shaw's show. Remember? Check out Shaw. What's that?
But the game they're supposed to win. I mean, Cleveland. 9.5.
Yeah. Not 10.
That's 0.5. That's you round that up. 10. That's math. 10 points. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm an undercover, Cleveland Brown fan from a long, long time ago. So I want to see Cleveland, take care of San Francisco.
Things getting a little, they're a little squirmy.
I got an Eagles shirt in here. Sitting in there, get the Eagles. Eagles are that Brian Westbrook. Last Sunday,
you're Westbrook.
Last Sunday, I went to Philadelphia for a watch party. He had to be anywhere between 100, no less than 125, 150 people there, minimum. And it was at somebody's house, big old house. I'm a guess they had at least 20 televisions, and all 20 televisions had the Eagles game on. All of them. So I walked in the house, and it was a young guy, and he said, Hi, Brian Westbrook's here. I heard you're going to be here, Brian Westbrook. Have you ever seen Brian Westbrook? I'm not Brian Westbrook. Somebody said Brian Westbrook was going to be LA. And the other guy people were like, no, that's Keith Byars. Oh, okay. So he's a little young guy. Yeah, I don't think you've ever seen Brian Westbrook. you couldn't confuse the two of us even more.
Byron left Twitch. Byron.
So when Brian Westbrook showed up, I said, Brian, you've already been here.
It's a stunt.
It was a good time, but it was a 4:00 game, so the Philadelphia people, they had plenty to drink by 4:00.
I think everyone looked like Brian Westbrook by the end of the day if they kept drinking at that pace.
Yes.
So. All right.
I love my Eagle fans.
Folks, appreciate everyone who came out and hung out with us here today and who tuned in, interacted on the Facebook page, of course, and YouTube channel. That wraps it up for us here this morning. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Keith Byars Show from noon to 1. Every Monday from noon to 1, the Keith Byars Radio Show, of course. And then Kinner and Kev, the Kinner and Kev Show, will be on in the afternoon starting at 3 tomorrow all week. So keep that in mind. We'll, of course, be reacting to the Browns game today, the Bengals game today, and, of course, your Ohio State Buckeyes.
Look for my rankings for college football, my top 16. It'll be coming out. I'll release it sometime this afternoon.
I'll get it done here so you can get it out. Yeah, on the list. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Until next week, this has been the Sunday Morning Tailgate Show live here from Frickers in Miamisburg, 1410 ESPN Radio.
So I was trying to put
Coming to you live from the Superbook Sports Studios in Kettering. You're listening to Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
And Washington's -5, so I think the team that can protect the football has the best chance to win.